Hey guys, my name's Jason Nago, and this is my presentation on the Onin War. The Onin War lasted from 1467 to 1477. The word Onin came from the era in which this war was fought. The Onin War was fought by Hosokawa Katsumoto, Yamana Sozen, and their respective families. The two families fought over a seat that was vacated by Ashikaga Yoshimasa, the 8th Ashikaga shogun. Yoshimasa vacated his seat after being overwhelmed by the problems of government and rather was more interested in art. Initially, Yoshimasa wanted his younger brother to succeed him, but then he fathered a son whom he later decided would be the heir. This caused a power dispute with Katsumoto and Sozen heading their respective sides. Katsumoto's eastern army consisted of 85,000 soldiers, and he also had the support of both the emperor and the Ashikaga shogun. Sozen's western army consisted of 80,000 soldiers, and he also had the support of the Ochi family, a family that had a monopoly on all Chinese trade at the time. The fighting initially began when the Yamana mansion went up in flames, and then chaotic fighting broke out in Kyoto. This wasn't just traditional mounted combat, but actual street fighting, with a lot of the battles happening in alleyways. The most common weapons that were used was fire, bows, and melee weapons like spears, blades, and halberds. Arson was common and looters were rampant. Kyoto was utterly destroyed by the fire and battle. For example, Shokokuji Temple was also destroyed. However, the fighting was not continuous. During lulls in the combat, poetry contests were held by Japanese bards to relieve the stress of waiting for battle. While the battle was taking place in Kyoto, Yoshimasa did absolutely nothing to help the battle. Instead, he built the Silver Pavilion and he continued to live in isolated elegance and refinement. In 1473, the heads of the Hosokawa and the Yamana died. However, fighting continued. Finally, in 1477, the Ochi finally retreated, which ended the struggle and gave control to the Hosokawa. However, the war ended with no real winner, as both forces lacked the strength to continue. The aftermath of the war was that the Hosokawa family ended up having control, and the Ashikaga family ceased to have any power at all. As well, fighting broke out to the nearby provinces, where daimyo led uprisings. The introduction of the daimyo introduced the Sengoku period, which means warring states. The Sengoku period was known as the warring states period due to the constant warfare between the daimyo and the struggle for power. That's the end of my presentation. Thanks for listening.